Vacation time has come and gone, and as I write this and do my script for it, it's here where the tough decisions start coming in. The next few months are going to be where I have to make the toughest of decisions. And it's sometimes the hardest choices that will require the strongest wills. I can't believe I made the obvious quote, but yeah, that's what you get. So yep, let's get on with it, I can't stress this all enough. I'm Mega Man NG, and I welcome you to my monthly update for September of 2023. Sometimes I must make a tough sacrifice if I am going to continue on. In all honesty, if you can't tell, then you know. Let's get started. And before I begin, please do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click that bell. So that way, you know when I'll be uploading. And if you're wondering, or even figuring it out, yeah, in terms of our overall viewership and everything, let's just say it's not that great. I only say this, I'm going off script just this once, but let me see. There it is. Watch time over the past month for the month of August, 20% of you have subscribed. And the watch time for non, 79.8%. Let us see if we can fix that. I don't know if I can't find a means to convince over 44,531 subscribers, but I have to do whatever possible to get my channel growing in these difficult times. Okay, now we can actually begin, to be honest. This month of August has been filled with a lot of things that have come and gone. Yes, I had a vacation, but that's right now behind me, and I'm now back at work. I hardly get time off, honestly, and if you did, YouTube would punish you for it. It's kind of a reason why I work so much, so that way you can get tons of content from me. I upload twice a day. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for my overall viewership and YouTube's determination to push my content further away due to the algorithm. That and people like to release footage early instead of, day one. Not right. It sucks, but it's their way of saying that your time has come and gone. Regardless, if you want to know what I've done in the month of August, here's the lowdown. First is Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective. I'd like to thank Capcom for giving me this opportunity to cover the game. It started with the first 2 chapters in the demo, and then Capcom sent me a code for the game, and I followed it up with the rest. And yes, I did do commentary, and I had so much fun doing it. To everyone who watched the playthrough, thanks. Seriously. I can't stress enough how much I got to play a game as good as this. And the fact that it's now out on modern consoles just brings a smile to my face. I hope you guys do get to play Ghost Trick and enjoy it. For me, I can chalk up another playthrough done. The second is Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. Although the post-game isn't finished, because it's going to be a stressful one, I may as well say that the playthrough is pretty much good and done. And there's a reason for it. For starters, I'm going to be swamped from here on in. I probably won't have time to return to the game, but at least I beat the game, so that counts. The post-game really isn't much, and even if I did decide to go back, it will require me to have certain items so I can tackle the Aura Coliseum. You know what I'm talking about, right? A Game Boy Advance SP, as well as a GBA to GC link cable. If I had those, I'd be bringing Pokemon to that game, so that way I can beat everything and whatnot. That there's no joke, seriously. So, as far as that goes, it's pretty much done. But I might figure something out along the way. In third is Final Fantasy II, part of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. I'm going to say this straight out. This game is still the black sheep of the franchise. That's not to say it's a bad thing. At least the Pixel Remaster did make this much easier, but of course you can just basically challenge yourself with the boosts. On the other hand, the fact that you can grow your characters at a much faster pace alleviates things. At least I'm thankful it's not like the original. The original was just so much more brutal. And yeah, I'm not kidding. With the whole nurture versus nature mechanic, no thanks. I'm thankful they got rid of that. I had fun with it, and the music does slap. Yes, it still does. It's still pretty good. Fourth up is a double whammy. The Legend of Zelda, Oracle Duology. I went with Seasons first, then Ages. Because I ended up owning Seasons when I was 16 years old. The game came out in 2001, and that same year there was the Game Boy Advance. And if you played the game while having a Game Boy Advance, you get the Advance shop. So that's a bonus. If you guys want me to do the opposite route, feel free to let me know. But overall, these two games are peak Zelda. peak 2D Zelda to be precise, or rather 2D overhead. One of the few games where IGN gave a perfect 10 to both games. If you haven't gotten the chance to play them, you honestly should. Seriously, you bloody should. They're on Switch Online right now for the Game Boy. Don't take my word for it with my playthroughs. Believe me, just enjoy the game for yourself. Last but not least is Dragon Quest II, Luminaries of the Legendary Line. Judging by how things are going, the playthrough is going to end tonight on September 1st. Fitting, but you probably are wondering, why the hell did I decide to tackle one of the hardest JRPGs in existence? Simple. I'm a masochist. I'm a glutton for punishment. I can handle a very hard game if it means learning how it all works. I'm that crazy, and I'm also kind of this desperate. Desperate enough for my playthrough to get the viewership needed to grow. And it's not like it's going to get any better either. There's a reason why I decided to do Dragon Quest to begin with. And it's more of a matter of sending a message. What message? Simple. For Square Enix to stop treating Dragon Quest like some stepchild, or rather some middle child or something. If it wasn't for Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy wouldn't exist, and people like Sakaguchi, Uematsu, Amano, Gabelli, and others wouldn't be the people they are today. I'll explain my feelings about it in a later chapter. That's pretty much all of what I did in August. As for the month of September, this is where the tough decisions start coming in. Before I explain what my plans are for the month of September, I'm going to be a little blunt right here. I have to. For more than 16 years, I have been doing content on this channel, and all it does is truthfully make me want to hurl. As a creator, sometimes I have to make tough decisions, tough calls. I can't please everyone, and if you can obviously tell from all the videos I've done, it's obvious. It really is. Like I said already, the hardest choices require the strongest wills, and in this month it's pretty obvious. September is going to be home to the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the hidden treasure of Area Zero. The thing is, I'm not doing it because money has been extremely tight. How tight? Well, I pre-ordered Mortal Kombat 1 and Trails of Nayuta. Not to mention, I'm also trying to raise funds for a new Nintendo 3DS XL capture board. Why? Because I honestly want to do DS and 3DS games again. And I have a lot that I want to do. I kid you not. So many games that I have a lot to cover and a lot to work with. I will detail my thoughts on that in Chapter 3. But in terms of what I plan to do for the month of September, it's going to consist of the following. The first is Mega Man Battle Network 4 Blue Moon. You guys voted for me to do this, and I can't let you guys down. However, I'm torn because in order to fully complete the game, you need to beat it 3 times. And every time afterwards, the difficulty climbs. It just sucks. But at the end, it's only going to make it much worse. I will, for the time being, do one playthrough of Battle Network 4. Why 1? Because I got 2 more Battle Network games to do afterwards. I'm not kidding. Battle Network 5 and Battle Network 6. If you want to see me do the other 2 playthroughs of Battle Network 4, let me know and show your support. I said this already, but I cannot stress this enough. The second is Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the 7 Stars. There is honestly no excuse. With the remake coming in November, I need to do this game. I have to. I want to see how the original holds up, and you know I will praise the game and criticize it. I hope you all look forward to it when it begins. Trust me. If you can obviously tell because of the opening movie and how much it got a nice boost in viewership, yeah, it's going to be a ride you don't want to miss, and it's going to be a ride that I'm going to enjoy. I am not kidding. And finally, Dragon Quest III, The Seeds of Salvation. This is where I'm going to have a lot of fun playing. Dragon Quest II was a pain in the ass. But here, this is where the franchise really shined. I'll just say that I'm most likely doing the Switch version where it's based off the iOS and Android port. Not to mention I'm also prepping for the inevitable Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. Honestly, if all the mainline games were like this, I'd buy them all. I'm really looking forward to playing this, and I'm going to have my party go nuts in order to be at their absolute strongest. I have to be. But if you're wondering, I will be streaming Mortal Kombat 1. Why? Because I'm not doing videos of it. If you know, YouTube is not a fan of anything Mortal Kombat. Years ago when I did Mortal Kombat X/XL, almost every single video has either been hit with limited ads or outright age restriction. I kid you not. But when I streamed the beta, it was monetized. No issue. And I'm like, okay then, I may as well stream it. I am getting it 5 days early due to pre-ordering the $120 limited edition, or rather the premium edition, which gives you access to the season pass. And I vow never to pre-order something like that ever again, because money is tight, and there's kind of a reason for it. Believe me. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you guys will be seeing more Tekken 2. One of the reasons I did videos of Tekken 2 is more due to nostalgia. To be honest, the game has a lot of good memories for me. Since I first knew about it due to the demo. When you first own a PS1, you get a demo, and it pretty much gives you access to several games. One of which was Tekken 2. There were only 2 characters in that demo. Some good times. Eventually, I played the full game, and it got me hooked. Good times, I love it, I really do. But I decided to do videos of it because, well, this game needs more love. This franchise needs more love. And plus, Tekken 8's coming out in January. I did see the appreciation that I got from doing Tekken 2. To those that have shown it, you have my thanks. If given a chance, I would also do the other Tekken games. But that may not happen for a really long while. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are you going to do the DLC? Am I going to do the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet? I'll tell you. Under normal circumstances, I would. I honestly would, but that's not the case. The answer is going to be a no. Money's been very tight. Not out by the fact that YouTube ad revenue has been utter shite. And this will probably be the only other time I say this, but I may as well. This is only just this once. The ad revenue has been complete shit. Seriously, if it was higher, I would do it without hesitation. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if someone came in, saw this video, and said, hey, if I give you $50, could you do the DLC for Scarlet? I'd do it without any hesitations. No objections. I mean, DSP does this crap all the time, and he makes excuses for the sake of feeding into his gotcha habits. I don't. And even I know better not to lie and deceive my viewers. Not to mention, I'm also saving up for a new 3DS XL capture board. I'll be explaining it shortly, but for now, I don't think I'll do the DLC for it until I get it. When I do, I will cover it. Besides, I got my own priorities as it is. Since the beginning of August, I began a fundraiser to raise funds for a capture board for the new 3DS XL. Why? Because if you remember, I spent so much money on getting games for the 3DS and Wii U when the eShops for them were going to go offline. I accomplished that mission, and now I plan to put everything that I had obtained to good use. That means a lot of the games will be covered on this channel and then some. The same can be said for the Wii U ones as well. Not only that, but I'm making good on my word to do games that I feel need the exposure. The first is Professor Layton, the Layton series of games. I have the 4 DS games physically. That means Curious Village, Diabolical Box, Unwound Future, and The Last Spectre. No, I'm actually a bit serious with that. Not to mention the 2 3DS games, which consist of Azrin Legacy and the Miracle Mask. I got them digitally with the whole eShop mess. With Level 5 announcing a new Layton entry, the New World of Steam, I figured it would be the most appropriate time to do the Layton games, starting with the first, Curious Village. Don't believe me? I may as well share my DS and 3DS collection to show you my incentive for doing this. If that ain't a reason, I really don't know what is. Another example of the Dragon Quest games. You guys know that I've already done Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and I'm starting up 3. But once I get the capture board, I'm taking it one step further. I'm going to be doing all the mainline DS and 3DS games. Why am I doing it? That answer is simple. Because Square Enix as a company has neglected Dragon Quest. Sure, we're going to be getting 2 Dragon Quest games this year. Dragon Quest / and Dragon Quest Monsters. Unfortunately, they've been treating it like some sort of spoiled child, and I'm truthfully sick of it. I remember the stream for Dragon Quest X, and they have a gall to say we have no interest in bringing it westward. That pisses me off as a fan. I'm honestly sick of Dragon Quest being pushed aside in favor of Final Fantasy. It needs to stop. And the other reason? I would also dedicate these to a YouTuber that I've been watching, and watching whenever I can, called Heorot Linnea. Apology if I got it wrong. As the user is currently doing Dragon Quest X. I figured why not? And yeah, I may do a video of Dragon Quest X, but that will require me to do a lot of work. And the last example is basically the Yokai Watch series. Yeah, I said it. I want to do these games, and the last game I did, I outright canceled the playthrough due to low viewership. I may try again, but who knows. Someone said that I should not do this series because the game was butchered in the localization. Thing is, I really don't care. I'm doing it because I want this series to get another chance overseas. It died when Level 5 shut down their US subsidiary 3 years ago. Sort of like with what happened with Enix in 95. There's no excuse now. None whatsoever. If you don't like me doing it, too bad. Deal with it. I'm brutal. But I have to be. So yeah, these are many examples so far. As of today, we've raised $120. And it's not like someone's going to come in with a clutch. If push comes to shove, I will use my own money to set the difference. And I'm also going to get a replacement battery for the new 3DS XL. Yeah, I figured I'd do that. But if you want to help, please be sure to check the link in the description below. This is not mandatory, but it would really mean a lot if you can help out. And besides, if you do, you get a shout out from me. You have my word. There have been 2 people who helped out. One of them is one of my dear friends, Big Cammy 007. And the other, just recently, yeah, that made me happy. So, let me find out who it is. This should take me no less than a few seconds. Yes, here it is. Fate RP Gamer. Shoutouts to him as well. I only hope that someday our goal can be reached. If not, I at least tried and I have no regrets. Besides, I will be starting to save up money again for a very different reason. Now, Chapter 4. As you know, the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers has come and gone. With it, we're also getting on our hands on the last season, Cosmic Fury, aka Dino Fury Season 3. And it has an official release date, September 29th. I will be reviewing the 10-episode season, but at the same time, I feel a bit melancholy because it also serves as the final season for this current continuity. From what I've heard, Hasbro wants to reboot Power Rangers. I was a bit torn, but ultimately, I feel that it needs to be done. Due to Saban being a complete dimwit. And meddling and all that. It's inevitable. I will make sure to provide my thoughts on the series when it happens. Keep in mind that I am in no rush to do this. Just letting you know. You've noticed that for some time I've been putting my focus towards RPGs instead of other genres like fighting games or platformers. The answer is obvious. I just like them. Hell, I love RPGs, especially JRPGs. Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Yokai Watch, Atelier, anything that lets me spend hours upon hours leveling up and getting stronger is my forte. It's my comfort food in a way. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for my viewership because it seems unsatisfactory. It's YouTube, so of course it's like this. But as someone who wants to put more emphasis on the genre, it just sucks. It really does. But that comes with the territory. Thing is, my first experience with RPGs, especially JRPGs, was Dragon Quest. Or, no, I'm sorry. It was actually Final Fantasy. It was Final Fantasy VI. My first Final Fantasy. But back then in 1994, it was known as Final Fantasy III. It was unique, but I really didn't put that much effort into it. I didn't get it, but in time I ultimately did. Eventually, Final Fantasy VII came out, I played it, and I was hooked. I was addicted. I would get to enjoy other RPGs as the years went by. But nowadays, I feel as if there is this xenophobia with JRPGs. It gets me riled up, and I honestly want it to stop. The 2000s and 2010s especially was a dark time for that genre because of a multitude of factors. First was the rise of Western RPGs such as World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, EverQuest Online, and so many others. Not to mention that people see JRPGs as old-fashioned, archaic, and antiquated. And it kind of made certain companies hesitant in bringing them over, like Square Enix. The funny thing is, we never would have gotten Dragon Quest VII on 3DS. People had to beg for it. We didn't get it until 2016. I don't want to get started on the xenophobia that was on X-Play. That alone is enough to make my blood boil. You don't believe me? Look it up. Trust me. The point is that RPGs, especially JRPGs, are my combat food. Or rather, comfort food. And you're going to see that in my many playthroughs. Hell, Mega Man Battle Network is an RPG in some ways. But you're going to be seeing more of this stuff in the weeks and months to follow. Like I said, I want to do more RPGs. I want to show more appreciation to them. And I can't stress enough how much I love them. I know it isn't for everyone, but to anyone that is planning to see them, you're seeing stuff from someone who is passionate about the genre. And I only wish that this genre be treated in high regard. That's all I want. more than anything else. I'm going off script for this because holy moly, how can Sony screw this up? Or better yet, is Sony really wanting to destroy whatever goodwill they have for the PlayStation brand? They're pretty much doing a good job at it. My real talk is on Sony and how they're raising prices for PlayStation Plus. Don't take my word for it. Look at this screenshot that you see right here. On September 6th, they're raising the prices for PlayStation Plus Essential, Extra, and Premium. And the prices for them are absolutely ridiculous. That alone has my eyes widen and it makes me go, what were they thinking? What were they bloody thinking in doing this? I'm not kidding. I have PS Plus Essential, and that's all I'm getting. I pay like $65, but now it's going to make me pay $79.99. And if you want a calculation with that, with tax, that's $87. You want to know how much I also get for $87? Hearthstone. When they do that $79.99 grand pre-order package that gives you like an additional hero, legendaries, you name it. I mean, what the hell? And I thought Activision Blizzard was cheap. This takes the cake, and the reception from this is overwhelmingly negative. Just because Microsoft has raised their prices for Game Pass doesn't give Sony an excuse to do this. Not that it matters because their PlayStation Plus lineup has been utter garbage. Same can be said for Premium, and it's like utter trash. Jim Ryan, what the hell are you doing? What the hell were you thinking? I mean, dear God, if you're trying to torpedo the reputation of your company, be my guest. You already did that enough ever since you moved the base of operations from Japan to California. And having the gall to censor Japanese games and outright banning them outright. I haven't forgotten what you did to Senran Kagura and Omega Labyrinth Life. Or rather, Omega Labyrinth Z, but you get the point. Point is, I'm mad. I'm very mad. And it's going to make me want to cancel my subscription outright. I'm serious. Why do you do this, Sony? You know that this situation like this happened before when the store for PS3 and Vita was going to go shut down. You reversed your decision due to the overwhelming negative response. And now you're doing this? Nice. You really know how to piss off your fan base, piss off your viewership, or rather piss off your community. I cannot stress enough. And this needs to stop. Honestly, it needs to stop. You really, 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 really need to stop and reverse. Because I'm just going to say it right here, right now. If you don't stop this, this is going to end up doing more harm than good. Because even now in social media, there are people that are canceling their subscriptions outright. Because nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do this. Well, I can't wait to see how you guys will handle this situation. And I want to hear what you guys think. Sound off in the comments below. And I swear, I should have done a script on this because this is just something I've never done before. But better late than never. Okay, so this update took like way too long. 23 minutes, like 25 minutes. Honestly, I just like having to do this now so that way I don't have to do it later. But regarding all that, I hope you guys enjoy it. I tried my best, but hey, what can you do? I hope you enjoy this update. But I want to ask you guys one honest question. And I want you to be honest with me. Do you guys want to see me reopen my Patreon again? I want to hear it from you. Because if I do decide to do that, there will only be 2 tiers. That's it. A $1 tier and a $5 tier. And I don't want to make it worse than it is. Because with how things are right now, let's just say it's not going to get any better. I'm just saying that enough. If things reverted as they were, I would bring it back without any restrictions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot. That thumbs up button that you see on the bottom there, yeah. If you enjoyed this or any of my content, please be sure to do these 5 things. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click that bell. It helps. I want to improve our watch time because, as I said, watch time for subscribers is 20%. We need to improve that. If you're not clicking that bell, you should. So yeah, that's it. I don't want this to go overboard, so enjoy it. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. Hopefully things can get better. Or worse, I don't know.